Shalom, family, my Israelite brothers and sisters, and anybody else that cleaves to this truth. I hope you guys are having a happy Sabbath day, learning something new today. You know, of course, no cooking, buying, selling, or working. I'm at home, chilling. I was watching a video from IUIC, and it's Deacon Yawasap, and he's pretty much going over thus far of how much I've watched the video of Israel being in the depressed state of mind and why they're in the depressed state of mind and stuff as far as, you know, right now and how they are to get out of it. And then I was talking with somebody yesterday, and this is kind of like I was gonna make a video, I just didn't know what of. And this time, this video it's about Israel, but at the same time, this video in particular is about me as far as being part of Edom, and you know how it makes me feel right now, and how I'm handling being and knowing this truth. I ain't gonna lie, it isn't right now. I'm going through this phase of like I'm accepting it, you know what I'm saying? But still, you knowing it, it's still frustrating. Do you know what I'm saying? So we was talking about it yesterday about how the person had mentioned, you know, that they felt sorry for me and they felt bad that I'm part of being a part of Edom, just because, you know, I cleave to this truth. I cleave to this truth as much as I can. Do you know what I'm saying? And my memory's not that great, so I don't be remembering all my scriptures and all that stuff. But as far as what I do know is that this right here is the way out. And he had mentioned to me, he was like, I bet if you could go back in time, you'd probably slap the hell out your forefathers. And I'm like, yeah, I would. You know, I told him too at one point, I was like, if I had that opportunity and that chance, if the Most High put out two options, you want to be Esau or do you want to be Israel? I would take being Israel. Do you know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, you can't really say that because, you know, being part of Esau or Israel, it was fucked up. They went through all types of getting cut into the women and all that stuff back in the day and all that. I'm like, yeah, that's true. And then he was like, well, then you think about it too. Israel back in the day, if they had the chance and they was given the opportunity, they probably wouldn't have wanted to be in Israel. They probably would have wanted to be part of Edom. Even back then, it would have been more Esau than Edom because they were crazy back then. It's not like there ain't any crazy Edomites today, but I'm like, so I feel like it can go both ways. If you want to think about, depending on what time back in the 1600s to now, I think the tables can be turned either way. Israel back in the day probably would not have wanted to been Israel. They probably would have wanted to have been Esau, or part of Edom. And you turn it today. Edomites, as far as myself, if I had the opportunity and was given the chance, I wouldn't want to be part of Esau. I would want to be part of Israel. Just because, you know, Esau done got everything that they wanted, and now it's finna burn to the ground. And that ain't even, like, that's irrelevant to me. Do you know what I mean? But what makes me say that is because my forefathers, if they didn't break that brotherly covenant, I don't think that I wouldn't feel as I do. I wouldn't feel as though, like, not even the fact that Israel was deceived is the highest thing out there that they did that, is going to fall down against them, that they deceived the Most High's people, telling them that they ain't nothing. Okay, like that's number one. Number two, for me, growing up, they didn't just deceive them, they deceived everybody else. They deceived me. They deceived anybody else out there that cleaves, and saying that the Most High is their God as well. The Most High don't deal with us. The Most High only deals with Israel. So you growing up learning to believe in the Most High and all this stuff, and you may not have had the same like get up as Israel do when it came to the church and all that, but you always, like me personally, I always wanted to know, and I always wanted to go to a Baptist church. Before I knew the truth, I always wanted to go to a Baptist church because they always got down in the church, you know what I'm saying, and be a part of that. So now I'm learning more and more, and bear with me, guys, I'm still a baby in this truth. I think next month will be a year for me. So, I'm still learning this truth and all that. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to stay with this truth. But, even Israel, they have their questions. And they have their moments and their times where they ask the questions of why. Or, they fall sometimes. And, their mind gets to them. And to thinking of, like, why me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that they said that before they knew the truth. Like, damn, why me? Why is it my people that are always getting shot in the streets? Why is it that we had to go through slavery and all that stuff? And please believe that the Most High knew what he was doing and had everything set up from the day he began this earth. Now, my questions for myself and the questions that I ask myself is why do I have to be part of Edom? Why do I have to be part of, as far as me, how I feel, why do I have to be part of, forgive me if you guys, like, if it don't sound right or whatever, but I feel sometimes as though I'm part of the devil's seed. Because just because Esau is the devil the Bible speaks of. And I am part of that. Like, I had to be born into that line. Like, I know the Most High don't make no mistakes. But, still in the back of your mind, you always ask, like, why? Why do I have to be part of that? Why am I a part of that? There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why I know this truth. There's a reason why the Most High gave me this spirit to know this truth. And it's on me to figure it out. And I've been feeling this type of way for the last couple of days. Just because, I've been going through some stuff. And, I've been watching videos and stuff like that. And I've been getting told, because sorry, my mind's blank right now. Well, anyways, but yeah, like, I didn't want to make this video all about me, because this truth isn't about me. This truth isn't about Esau. This truth isn't about all the other nations. Granted, me and Esau and all the other nations are part of the truth, yes, but this truth isn't about us. It's about Israel. And if I can make one wish, I want to be Israel. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, And the example that was given to me yesterday was like, if you back in the day, you probably wouldn't have wanted to been Israel. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, I probably wouldn't have. And Israel back in that day probably wouldn't want to have been Israel either. You know what I'm saying? But to go through 400 years and that and all that of all the slavery and all that stuff to come out on top at the end, I want that. I would have wanted to be part of that. Because who knows what the Most High is gonna, feel as though I'm worthy of. If I'm worthy to be given to a master that I know here in today's world, who, will take care of me, you know what I'm saying? Like, knows where my heart's at and has always been when it comes to knowing this truth, you know what I'm saying? And that's only if it's his will that, he'll do that. And who's to say that he will? It's all up to me, how much did I keep my nose in this book and my ears into everything else in the videos, because I watch videos a lot, you guys. I watch them from the time I wake up, especially now that I just got me some new headphones again, because I hadn't had no headphones, so I ain't been able to really hear and watch videos being on the bus and trains and all that stuff. But as soon as I wake up, I'm on my way to work. When I'm in between, and when I'm on my lunch, I watch it. In between picking up some passengers, I'm watching it. On my way home, I'm watching it. And trying to, make sure that my mom remembers all this stuff, It's up to me, I feel, though, as what the Most High will do with me when the time comes. And not even just me, anybody else out there who believes in him and believes that the so-called African American black person is his people, and the fact that they can own up to who they are and everything like that. And I think I have said it in one of my first videos that I'm not sure, 100% sure of whom I descend from, but I'm pretty sure it's from Edom. Just because, come on now, I got a pointy ass nose. I got all the features of Esau, Edom. But I have the soul and the heart of being part of Israel. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't never, I didn't grow up in the hood or anything like that, but I didn't grow up in the suburbs either. I grew up kind of I wouldn't say in between either. I kind of grew up between the middle and the hood. And I grew up I'd say about a third away from the middle. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I grew up in a school where it was pretty diverse. You had everybody there. You know what I'm saying? I said the only people that you didn't see a whole lot of was the Chinese people. But I grew up with knowing some of the habits and some of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And even more when I came out of school and I started getting being around my homegirl and all that, I started learning more and more. And then I really started seeing the differences as far as families goes and the nations. Not knowing there was nations at that time. Nations just said different families between white people and black people. But I don't know, because if you guys think about it too, you got some Edomites out there that grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And they just as much Israel as Israel, just because of how they act, what they do, the things that they done been through, and things like that. Like, my husband done told me about this one dude that grew up with him in Montbello, and he said that he was just like a black dude. Just like a black dude. Acted like him, dressed like him, talked like him, everything. So I think, you know, knowing this truth and all that stuff, if you are of other nation than Israel, right now, all I can say is keep your nose in the books and do your studies and just have faith in the Most High, because at the end of the day, it's up to Him. It ain't up to nobody else. And upon His own will is what He do with you. In Israel, you already know, as long as you keep His law, statutes, and commandments and do it faithfully with all your heart, mind, and soul, you good. You gonna get it all at the end of the day. You gonna get it all. So, you ain't really gotta worry. Don't worry. As long as you do what He wants you to do and do what He puts in this book for you, you good. And all praises to that, because you guys have been through hell and back when it comes to this world. And all I can say right now, and it pisses me off, like it really, like I get pissed off when it comes to stuff with Israel too, because that right there is the number one most deceiving, just stupidest thing that I could ever think of, that deceived the Most High's people and fucked them up and did all this and this and that and that. Yes, because that's something right there that if you don't want to understand it or see it or anything like that, you ain't got no ounce of chances anyways. So, but it also makes me mad and frustrated, and to know what I'm a part of. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know it ain't about me or as far as Edom or anything like that, but I look down at my hands and my arms, and when I look in the mirror, sometimes I have a hard time looking at myself, just because of knowing who I descend from. Do you know what I'm saying? That he was just that stupid. Couldn't have just let it go. You know what I'm saying? He had to go and hunt down his brother. He had to go and make it like this thing that he hated his brother. Like, if he didn't hate his brother and he didn't break that brotherly covenant, we'd all be good. We both would be good. Because we're brothers. We are brothers. Do you guys understand that? Jacob and Esau are twins. We come from the same womb. Yes, we are two manner of people, and yes, we are two different nations, and the Most High knew what He was doing with that. But if Esau didn't break the brotherly covenant and he didn't do the shit that he did, well, all I can say is, if you are a part of Edom, do what I do. Keep your nose in the books and try to do as much studying as you can and follow His law, statutes, and commandments as best as you can. Women, wear your head wraps. If you're married, wear your dresses. Keep the Sabbath day. Make sure you start studying the high holy days, Passover, the Feast of Tabernacle, Feast of Dedications, Memorial of the Trumpets, Purim, if that's how you say that one right. I don't know if you say that one right. New Moon, all that stuff, and stop celebrating these pagan ass holidays. The Most High probably gonna look down upon you and feel as though you was worthy. And that's all that I hope and pray for. That He says that I'm worthy. Forgive me for making this video, guys. I don't want any of my videos to make anybody feel like I'm only doing these videos because of me, because it ain't because of me. But I just been having this on me, and I just wanted it to see if it couldn't help somebody, or maybe somebody out there might be able to help me ease my mind when it comes to that. But Israel, Stay strong, please, because you guys are getting everything and you deserve it all, of course. But you stay strong. If you in those truth and you thinking about, man, this stuff is hard. Like, why does Most High ask this stuff and all this and this and that and that? Don't go back. Don't go back to the world. Don't go back to any of that pagan stuff. Don't do it. Just stay in the Most High's scriptures and do what you can to stay and do what He asks you to do. That's all He asks for you to do is His commandments. So, the seed of Israel is a really great guy. Some stuff I don't agree with what he says, but for the most part, he's very, very good at teaching you guys, teaching everybody the Most High's words. And if you haven't looked him up, look him up. Again, his name is Seed of Israel. And one thing that I like that he does is at the end of his videos, he always does the same scripture. And this scripture is very nice, especially for Israel out there who are thinking, like, dang, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, or I don't know if this is the right thing, or anything like that, or like, wanting for this stuff to hurry up and all this stuff. But I'm going to leave you guys with this scripture, and if you guys got any comments, cares, concerns, leave them in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe for me so you guys can help. We all can work together on reaching out to more Israelites out there, especially once I start getting my teaching game up. Not teaching, of course, but my scriptural game up. I can give you guys a couple of scriptures here and there for you to study upon yourself. But I'm going to leave you guys with this scripture, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sabbath. I'm going to get back to you guys here soon. And stay strong in the Lord, you guys. Stay strong in Him. And know, especially if you're Israel, know that you are blessed. Know that you are the Most High's chosen people. Know that you're going to get everything at the end of the day. And know that it is everything that you deserve. Everything that you deserve. And don't let it go. Don't let it go. Because you got people like myself who will take it in a heartbeat. So don't let it go. Don't get everything, every ounce of that. Take it in. What's that word? Soak it in and just, you know what I mean? Put it in everything that you do. Put it in that. Okay? So yeah. This is a scripture, you guys. It's going to be Revelations 14 and 12. And it says, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." So do that. And all will be great. Shalom to you guys. Most High Christ bless. Good night.